Hello dear traders, and welcome to the monthly trading review of Trading Hero strategy. This week, 8 out of 10 portfolios closed with the profit. Let's check all the portfolios one by one. So portfolio for the 5K in the first version brought us plus 5.6%. Portfolio for the 5K in the second version brought us 6.4%. 5K version 3 portfolio brought us 3.4%. 10K portfolio first version brought us 4.1%. 10K portfolio version 2 brought us 2.5%. 10K portfolio version 3 brought us 2.1%. 20K portfolio brought us 2.2%. 50K portfolio brought us 2.5%. 100K portfolio brought us minus 2.8%. We got a stop loss on Aussie CAD with this portfolio. And on the 200K portfolio, we got minus 7.8% because we got stop losses on Aussie CAD and Aussie NZD. Let's switch to the MetaTrader platform and check all the trades in the details. And we start as usual from the first currency pair. This is Aussie CAD. We highlighted the trading area of the previous month with a gray rectangle, and we are on an hourly time frame, so which vertical line separates one trading day. As you can see, we were holding selling positions with this currency pair and closed it with a loss of minus almost 35k here, and the total result is minus 29k. So we recovered, or we earned 5k on this currency pair, so we partly recovered the losses we got with it. As for these trades, you can see that we were holding these trades for more than a month, and unfortunately the price grew for more than 3,000 pips, almost 4,000 pips, and we had to close our trades with a loss due to the limitations that we have for this portfolio. We used the system of shared risks on big portfolios, and here we got the 200% of our basic equity with this portfolio, and we closed this trade with a loss. In some cases, we are able to extend it up to X5, but considering that we had the trades on Aussie NZD, so we already were in a drawdown, we decided to use the minimum available stop loss to close all the trades here, because the situation with Australian dollar is currently not predictable. As you all remember, Australia is one of the top gold mining countries in the world. It takes the third place. So considering the current situation with gold, everyone saw that on the monthly time frame. You can see that we saw it from 2k to almost 6k, and nobody knows what will happen next. And maybe Aussie will be growing against all of the currencies, while we can see that we have a high demand on gold. So this is the situation on Aussie CAD. The next currency pair is Aussie NZD, and here we got a stop loss. We closed it a bit earlier. We were not waiting for the price to reach the maximum limitation of X5. We closed it around X4, and we got a loss around minus 24k, considering all of the trades that were made during these months. We were able to reduce the loss down to minus 22k, but still we have this loss. And here the situation, as you can see, is very different. It is a negative scenario that we were ready for, but to be honest, we were not expecting to get it here on this currency pair. But on the daily time frame, let me switch to the higher time frame to show you the global situation. We actually were holding these trades since September, and we were waiting for the correction for more than 6,000 pips. So considering the daily time frame situation, we can even switch to the monthly time frame. You can see that the price here was in a global corridor since 2013. So 13 years we were floating in these ranges, and obviously when the price approached the highs of this corridor, firstly it was 3 months ago, and formed here this pin bar on a monthly time frame, I actually saw that, okay, this is it. This is our prime time. We can actually wait for the take profit, because after this pin bar plus we have historical highs, the probability of the correction, at least to the previous local highs, is quite high. So we were waiting for the market to correct here, and we decided to extend the stop loss from X2 to a bigger one. Then you can see that the price started to grow again, but then on January it also showed a pin bar, and I saw that okay, now we have another pin bar, and now we got those sellers who were waiting for the market decline, and now we must go down, but still it didn't happen, and that's why our maximum stop loss was here, our X4 stop loss was here, and we actually triggered this X4 stop loss slightly higher than these local highs. And I think that this decision was correct, because in the negative scenario we could receive even more losses, but still the situation is, I would call it a force majeure situation, because we changed the global price range for the last 13 years, and we did it with no corrections. It was not a gradual growth like it happens usually. It was a very, very sharp growth with no corrections. But still, everything is okay so far. We closed all the trades. We have no hanging trades, so we can move on with all other currency pairs and with this currency pair and continue trading as usual. The next currency pair is Aussie USD. Here our profit amounted to $3,000, and I can say that the trading here was a bit like range trading, because if you look at the first part of the month, you can see that we are trading in range. Then we broke the local highs, but we formed another range in the upper part of this global consolidation. So everything looks at least not so aggressive as on the cross rates. And on the daily time frame, you can see that we were in a consolidation. This consolidation, we can say that we had one wave of growth, then it was a wave of correction, then we had another wave of growth, then another correction, and maybe now we are heading to form the third wave. Everything depends on many factors, including the gold prices and actually the war that started in Iran. So we'll see how it goes, but I think that Aussie USD has all chances to continue its growth. The next currency pair is Euro GBP. Here our profit amounted to $570. The situation is completely stable. We can see the uptrend here, local uptrend. We are buying and selling with up to 3 trades in each chain of trades, so everything is very moderate. The profits are not high, but at least we do not have any drawdowns here. Globally, we are still in this consolidation, so nothing actually changed. Yes, we bounced off the previous local lows, the previous support level, and we reached one of the previous local highs, but the situation is pretty stable. Maybe we'll see the continuation of this uptrend, but let's wait for the price to break the previous local highs. The next currency pair is GBP USD, and here you can see that we continue the decline, so it's opposite to Euro GBP actually. Yeah, we have a clear downtrend here. The profit amounted to $2,300. Everything is okay. We didn't have any significant drawdowns here. On the daily time frame, we can see that the price is heading to the local support level, so maybe we're going to see another wave of decline, and from this level we'll see how the price will behave. On the weekly time frame, you can see that this month the price updated the local highs of 2025 and local highs of 2021. So this was actually, from my point of view, the main technical reason why we can see these declines. So the nearest goal for the price can be somewhere here, as we recently saw on the daily time frame, and here is the stronger global support level for the price. The next currency pair is GBP USD. The situation here is similar to the one we saw on GBP USD. We have a downtrend. The profit is around $700, and on the daily time frame we can see that the price reached the previous support level, or we can say that it's more global support zone. So let's see how it behaves, because we also have a consolidation here. That's actually what I like in cross rates, that we have consolidations more often than with currencies that are traded against the US dollar. So everything is fine here. We have only one buy trade. So let's wait for the market to continue trading in this range. USD CAD, here you can see that we started from a consolidation, then we went down, then we went up, and actually we came back to the consolidation we had in the beginning of the month. So nothing globally changed. We were trading in the price ranges of the previous months, and here is like more narrow range where the price ended this month. The profit amounted to $375. On the daily time frame, we also can see that we are here in a consolidation. More globally, we have the support levels that we reached in January, and I think there was an attempt to backtest these levels. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we're gonna have the next wave of decline. Who knows? It will be interesting to see how the market opens on Monday after all of this news. But so far everything is okay with our positions. And the last currency pair is NZD CAD, and here you can see pure consolidation. Yeah, we broke the previous local highs, but then we came back to this range, and then we were ranging from this wide consolidation. The profit amounted to almost $6,000, and the biggest part of it we received at the beginning of the month when we closed all the trades that we were holding since the previous month. And in difference to Aussie CAD, yeah, we can see that New Zealand dollar was not growing so fast, and it has completely different economic than the Australian dollar. And actually, if we look at the results of Aussie CAD, you can see that the loss we got here, it was almost 35k, and we recovered also almost 6k. So it means that these currency pairs actually give us, at least in recent months, they give us the biggest part of our profit. Everything is stable here. We have a couple of buy and sell trades with different robots, so everything is okay. And on the daily time frame, you can see that we spent this month in a consolidation, nothing new. We approached the previous local highs, we tested them, and then we went down and stopped somewhere on this mirror level that once was a resistance. Now it turned into support. So let's see how it goes the next month. So far everything is fine. I'm positive in my expectations in March. We got a couple of stop losses in big portfolios, but on the other hand, we closed the trades we were holding for a couple of months. So we reduced the capital load, we don't pay swaps, we don't expect for the price to come back. Now everything looks more clear and stable. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in comments or directly on Telegram or WhatsApp. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next video review.